What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Team Home Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Salamangreat going up against Tenpai on the right here. I do have a little bit of a cold, so I will apologize for sounding a little bit scuffed. We're going to be seeing a die roll here in a second. They're just getting the dice out. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're a lot. We're on the road to 10K here. We are going to be seeing most likely the Salamangreat player going to be choosing to go first, regardless if they do win the die roll or not. They'll be forced to go first here. And we do see Salad start off with a copy of Circus. Circus is going to be able to get us access to the copy of the Gazelle. Now, this is going to be recorded prior to the ban list, so hopefully maybe banning some of those cards of the Tenpai or hitting them down, making them a little bit less consistent. But we're going to be seeing a silent mining be able to search for a copy of the Lady Debug. This is most likely not going to be hit, if anyone is wondering. Salad isn't pretty much of a fair deck. We're going to be seeing a Veiler being dropped on the copy of Debug. This is not going to make that much of a difference. I know that Debug normally searches for the copy of the EMP Grenade, which actually should be a card you guys pick up if you guys want to play the Malice deck. But we see the copy of Lady Debug go into the Balinks, and then we're going to be seeing the Parallel Exceed summon out 2 copies or itself, and then another copy from the deck. And then we can go up into the copy here of the Wicked. We then have the Gazelle that can summon itself out because the Bailings touch the graveyard. And then we're going to be able to banish the Debug in the graveyard to be able to search for most likely a Weasel with that Cyberse Wicked there. But we are going to be seeing Mourner on the Gazelle, stopping that dump. I have a feeling that the Tenpai player doesn't exactly know what the Salamangreat monsters want to end on. Normally you want to save your interactions for a little bit later. Obviously hitting the first normal summon is definitely a good option, but in this case we kind of are able to play through it. We're going to be going up into another Balinks and then going up into a copy of Princess, and this would be a good target for us to hit with the copy of the Mourner there. So we do the damage from the Mourner, but we then summon out the copy of the Gazelle, and then we can go up into the Mirage Dahlia, which is going to be our first way of locking ourselves. We're going to be activating the effect, detaching to summon out a copy of the Jack Jaguar, and this is kind of the reason why we want to play these cards over the copy of Fire. So Salamangreat Fire as a normal summon is quite good, but it does lock you out of some of these good monsters that we see the Wicked being able to search, letting us play through Droll and Knockbird, or I should say, letting us play through like some other cards. It will also let us end on Baguska and SP, but we can see that now not going to happen. We actually can still end on those cards because we just can't activate the effect. But we're going to be giving our opponent the copy of the Balinks. And I was trying to say Nib earlier. It lets you play through Nib by searching that copy of the copy of the Draw guy, the Weasel there. But we do make the level Link 4 rank up once again into another Link 4. Getting the effect to search. Searching for the Counter Trap, I believe. It can also pop 4 cards on the field, which is quite nice. But giving them a Balinks can be really good if you're playing against a certain deck. If they're playing some of those board breakers, playing the Lightning Storms or anything else. Obviously, not this deck will not play evenly matched, but it's still a quite good that you can actually do it. We're going to be seeing the Jack Jaguar put back the copy of Mirage Dahlia to summon itself out, and we're still continuing here. We're going to be adding back the copy of the Balinks, and then we go up into the copy of Baguska. Now, we are locked into activating the effects of the Fires, but we are not locked into summoning. So Baguska is going to be very good against the Tenpai deck here. We also see them make the copy of Sunlight Wolf, so that's how they add back the copy of Gazelle. Just let them summon out, add back cards, essentially for a follow-up, and then you have a negate regardless. And then, of course, the Phoenix can summon itself back at any point of time whenever a fire is destroyed, and then you can destroy it with the Princess as well if you don't have a way to summon anything into that zone. So we see the Tenpai player thinking here. Now, they may not be able to break this board. I don't exactly know. We see a Prosperity in their hand, but they are thinking about it. Baguska is very hard to out in this deck, especially when you don't have any access imperms and stuff like that. No matter what you do, your Regeki, or I guess not Regeki, but your Lightning Storms as well as imperms are not going to do very much. If they drew into a dead card there, which they most likely, we're looking at, they're kind of struggling. Maybe they're trying to see what they can dig through their extra deck with. But not looking the best. We do see a couple fusion cards in that extra deck, so maybe we're playing a copy of Super Poly in our deck. We do see a Prosperity starting to dig. And so like, the point here, do you banish your fusions? I mean, it depends if you're maining Super Poly or not, but we're going to be seeing a banish. And that's going to... It's going to be negated with the Roar here. Now, I wonder why they chose to negate this rather than negate the card that we searched. Maybe thinking they want to have like a 2-card combo, or they don't actually know what their opponent is on. We do see an Imperm in their hand, so that Balinx definitely does stop the copy of Baguska here. And they can't just go battle phase attack over it, because then once Tenpai like loses their battle phase, they essentially lose the game, especially against a deck like this that has so much gas. But we're going to be seeing them normal summon with the Hydra is going to turn itself into defense position here. They're going to link away for a copy of SP. SP is going to target the copy of Baguska here. Now, they won't be able to attack directly anymore because of the SP effect here. It looks like they also have a copy of Ghost Ogre in the hand, thinking if they want to chain that to it. I mean, if they do chain it to it, they will be able to summon out the copy of Sunlight Wolf wherever they want to, making it so that it's no longer going to be in the extra monster zone, which can come up quite a bit. We also can chain Princess to this, but we're going to let that resolve. So banishing that copy of Baguska, putting the Jack Jaguar back in the graveyard to be able to use during the follow-up turn here. At this point, I feel like the Salamangreat player is pretty comfortable with how their turn ended up going. You know, just leaving the SP on the field and setting one card, which is most likely that copy of Imperm. Yeah, we can now pretty much guarantee an OTK, especially through a copy of SP. You know, maybe not SP Imperm, but like at this point, they're going to be down to 2 cards and that copy of SP. It's going to let them kind of link up into another body. But we can go... Like, we can link up into the copy of, with SP left on the field, we can go for the Princess OTK, but it's kind of interrupted by the other Princess in our graveyard of the Salamangreat player. So we're going to be seeing them relink up into the copy of the Sunlight Wolf, activating the effect of Gazelle, as well as the Sunlight Wolf to reset the trap, to reset itself, so we now have a Omni Negate for the next turn as well. No matter what SP kind of does, we're going to be able to kind of play through it. But we're going to be dumping a copy of the Weasel. Going to let us to play more, especially now Weasel in the graveyard is going to also give us access to a copy of Princess here. And then, of course, Princess is going to trigger the effect of the Raging Phoenix. We're going to be seeing them go for the Balinx, and then we're going to be able to activate the effect of the Weasel, putting itself back and giving itself a Balinx here. And then we're going to activate the effect of the Princess. We also draw one off that copy of Weasel, just replenishing our hand, but we're going to be able to destroy the copy of Balinx as well as SP, perhaps, because it doesn't have to target the card that was summoned. But they're going to chain SP on the Sunlight Wolf, and we're going to chain Ghost over to this, destroying that copy of SP. So then we're going to be seeing the Princess summon itself out, and then we're going to activate the effect of the Raging Phoenix to summon itself out as well. And we have Imperm to target the copy of the Princess here. This is going to make it so that we cannot just reborn out the other copy of Raging Phoenix and essentially just go for a game. But now they're going to be left on one card. We're going to be able to normal summon the copy of Gazelle. And you know, we're going to be able to go battle phase here, and they just scoop it up, realizing the game's going to be lost, especially with that copy of the counter trap. No matter what that's going to happen in the following turn, we're going to be able to just win. You know, 2 cards in the hand. It's going to have to be a good, a crazy card. I mean, I don't even know if we couldn't have OTK'd there, what we could have done. but I was pretty sure it was OTK. Like, we have 28 plus 23 plus 18 plus 18. So, we're over, especially with 500 boost of the Balinks on that copy of the Raging Phoenix. But we are going to go into game 2 here with Tenpai going to be able to side in. We might see some copies of Shifter being sided in. We may see those Super Polys because we are playing the Fusions in the extra deck there. So we could see some of that. But I wonder what the Salamangreat players can be siding out. Maybe a copy of Charge if they play it. Maybe the EMP Grenade. And maybe putting in some of those cards like Judgment if they play it. Or other cards that can maybe stop the normal. I know a lot of cards, and a lot of players now are playing Judgment. Just to be able to stop it. And we could see a Molt Charm being dropped from the Tenpai player as well. Going to be able to essentially get a numerous draws because they do summon a lot from the hand. But we actually see Tenpai choose to go first here, switching it up, making sure that they don't get hit with that Baguska one more time. So we're going to be starting off with a copy of Prosperity, banishing 6 cards. And we see a Chandra, a Chandra, 2 Phaedras, 2 Kaimans, and a copy of Imperm here. So we're going to be choosing the Quick Play spell. Then we're going to activate, maybe summoning out a copy of Genroku here. But we see a search for a copy of Pydra instead. We then normal summon out the copy of Pydra, activate the effect, letting us search for a field spell, most likely. We don't have access to that just yet. We also see another copy of Pride of Prosperity in the hand. Definitely not going to be doing the most for us. We're going to search for a copy of the Summoning again. But then we activate the effect of Chandra being able to summon it out. And now we can make a copy of Seals. That can be quite useful if we end up bouncing their normal summon. Make it so they cannot extend. That could leave us to a game 3 right in itself. We see a 2 sets, and just passing on that, I do think we see a copy of Ogre in the hand. We're going to be normal summoning a copy of Jack Jaguar, and do they know to bounce the normal? They do not. We're going to be seeing them go into a copy of Balinks here, and then we're going to be able to activate the effect of Balinks alongside, if we have Gazelle in hand, we can do Gazelle as well as a copy of Paralytic Seed, which I do see in the hand. Now, Paralytic Seed has a weird clause because it is going to have to be summoned into the zone it points to. We don't even see the... Wow. Yeah, so we obviously can see here that we don't know what the Salamangreat cards do, or the Paralytic Seed, because this would have been a perfect opportunity to bounce that copy back to the hand to stop that summon here. It has to summon it to a zone it points to. We're going to be summoning with the second copy of Paralytic Seed, letting us have now access to a Link 3 or a copy of a XYZ. We also see another copy of Paralytic Seed in the hand there, so maybe next turn we'll be able to go up. We see them link away into the copy of the Wicked here, and then we're going to be activating the effect of Gazelle, summoning itself out. So we had the Gazelle as well. We could have changed it to summon, and then we're going to be activating the effect of Banishing, and they do hit a copy of Valor on that Cyberus Wicked, or on that Gazelle here, letting the Wicked resolve, searching for a copy of the Weasel. And I wonder why are they choosing not to hit that Wicked there. The dumping effect of Gazelle only really dumps the copy of Spinny or the spell or the traps there. But we are going to be going up. We now have lots of access. We can go up into a copy of the Princess. Now, Princess most likely will be bounced by the Seals. I see a Valor in the hand and a Field Spell and an Exceed, but the hand shuffling is a little bit too quick for me to notice anything else. So we still have those face downs. One of them is obviously a copy of the Quick Blaze spell. But we're kind of forced to... We're going into a Balinks here. Then we're going to go up into a copy of the SP. SP is going to target the copy of Seals. They're going to chain Seals here. Target the SP, and we let that resolve. So when we're seeing the SP bounce, we're summoning a copy of the Phaedra. Phaedra can then bring out a copy of the Hydra, or Chandra in this case, bringing itself out. And then that's going to be able to bring out another body in the battle phase. If we choose to go into the battle phase here, we may just see it pass. That's like kind of the problem when you're playing against Tenpai. Do you really want to go to the battle phase and find a way to solve that copy of Chandra, or do you want to just let them go through? They already have the summoning or the quick play in the hand. I don't know why they chose to name the field spell summoning and the quick play spell not summoning. That's one that summons the cards. Kaiman is the one that it could just be the field spell, but it's fine. We're going to be seeing a Weasel being summoned, and they do have the Super Poly. So we have Super Poly, and that's discarding a copy of Prod of Prosperity. Going to be going into that Garua. At this point, I cannot see how Salamangreat makes a return off this. Getting two of those bodies off the field, and they just scoop it up right there. I definitely would not suspect Super Poly in a Tenpai build. We are going to be moving on to Game 3. We now know they are on Super Poly, which kind of makes the going first board kind of have to play more carefully, make sure we don't just lose immediately to Super Poly. Now, if we do go full combo, we can end on a copy of Raging Phoenix in Graveyard with Sunlight Wolf on the field. We have Princess in the Graveyard as well. We also have a copy of SP and then a Balinx in the Graveyard to protect. And then we also have a copy of the Baguska on the field. And I think we also have in the Graveyard, we have the copy of the EMP Ground Grenade. That's all going to be off a one normal summon of a Debug. I think a Gazelle in the hand as well. I'm not exactly sure. I know that Salamangreat is a very combo heavy deck. Just kind of gets a bigger board depending on the cards in their hand. And obviously the counter trap will be set as well. We can also choose to set the copy of Rage if we are playing it. I don't exactly know this exact build that we are seeing this player on. But Rage can definitely be useful, popping the field spell, making it so that we cannot extend. Or having the consistency, making it so that our hand traps in the hand can affect those Tenpai monsters. But we are going to be diving into Game 3. Salamangreat will be choosing to go first here. We're going to be seeing a normal summon of a Spinny, linking off into the copy of the Balinx as well as Gazelle. We now have two bodies on the field, including that Spinny in the Graveyard, so a total of 3. It can summon itself out, which is going to also give us access to a copy of Mirage Stalio, locking us into monster or fire effects. But we're going to be seeing Gazelle going to be dumping. Gazelle is going to be most likely dumping the Trap, so it can reset, or a copy of Falco. I was going to say the other cards could be Jack or Falco here, depending on what we already have access to. But we're going to be going Spinny, and that's going to be summoning itself out, most likely going into the copy of Balinx to summon another copy of something from the deck. Now we are going to be locked into fire effects, so we're not going to be seeing Wicked. So this is going to have to either summon a copy of Jack Jaguar or a copy of Weasel, depending on which line they want to go for. Now we already have the copy of the Falco in the Graveyard. But this might be the lines to get us to that copy of what I was trying to say is the copy of the Baguska here. But we do see a Veiler on that Mirage Stalio, so that definitely is going to be a bit problematic, stopping us in our tracks. We see a Droll in their hand as well. Droll being interesting against Tenpai. Sometimes it can be quite useful, especially if they have a copy of Molcharmy. That card will definitely be pretty useful there. But we are going to be seeing the field spell being activated. We're going to go up into another copy of the Balinx there. Interesting that we're choosing to do that. I feel like we want to go for the linking up another body, but that's going to be fine. And just passing turn on that's extremely weird to me. That is this going to be what it takes to beat the copy of Tenpai? They're going to be reading the copy of Mirage Stalio. I think it doesn't just hit when it goes to the Graveyard. I think it has to be linked away or something like that. Important. We're going to be seeing them go for the Kaiman here, searching for a copy of Hydra. And then Hydra will be normal summoned, activating the effect. We're going to hit that with a copy of Ghost Ogre here. Now that's going to be quite good for us, especially when we don't have a copy of Chandra to kind of place it through. We are going to be now kind of stuck because we don't have anything else to summon. But we kind of just banked on them not having the field spell at that point. We see a Phaedra in the hand, so we're going to be searching for that copy of the Kaiman once again, and then we can activate this during our opponent's turn, which can give us access in the battle phase to a copy of Phaedra or Chandra or whatever else that we may need. Most likely going for Chandra. Chandra can then bring out the copy of Phaedra, and then we can start to going. Or we can spring out the second copy of Phaedra, because we did see them play 2 of them. Lots of different options here, but we did roll them on resolution, making sure they don't have any access to those copies of Product Prosperity to dig that deck. We're going to then normal summon a copy of a Mirror here. Now, this is going to be the Poplar of the deck that some builds are playing, but we are going to be seeing the copy of Falco going to be activated here, which can bring itself out. We still have Mirage Dalio. It's going to be able to summon out as well. We do see a copy of Bell here. Now, we're playing some weird cards, maybe siding into Bell. Bell is quite good in a lot of decks right now. It's also good against the Fiendsmith quite a bit, but we are going to be seeing that Falco not resolve. We're going to be linking up into the copy of the Hita. Now, I believe the reason why they try to go Falco bounce back the Mirrors, because Mirror will then trigger bringing itself out again. Now, we can activate the effect of Hita to take the copy of Phaedra that's in the graveyard, which is going to let us link up. Or you can go into the copy of the, I guess it's not the 4. I think that's a 3. We're going to be seeing them link up into the copy of Princess here, and then we're going to be able to bring out with Princess. We still have Mirage Dalio on the field, which we can then summon out from the deck. But we're thinking on this, we do Droplets. Droplets is going to be sending a copy of Droplets and a Monster to negate both those cards on the field. Now, we can just link up. We're just going to activate the effect of Mirage Dalio there. It is negated, but it's just going to let us have the copy of the Balings in the graveyard. They are going to then activate the effect of Gazelle summoning itself out, and then we're going to be able to dump from the deck, dumping most likely the copy of Weasel or the Jack Jaguar, dumping Jack Jaguar here, and then this is going to be able to bring itself out. But we know the last card on the field is going to be Kaiman. Now, Kaiman's going to be used in the battle phase most likely. Other than if they have a way to pop it, then we're going to see them maybe chain it to summon out a copy of Genroku. We're going to be seeing Raging Phoenix, then relinking into Raging Phoenix, but then can search for a copy of Will. Will can then bring out a bunch of bodies, and then we're going to be seeing them activate the effect, summoning out 4 bodies here. And will we find a way to pop? We do have the Nightmare Phoenix in our deck. We have no cards in the hand to discard here. And we see a copy of the Baguska being made, and Tenpai just admits defeat, realizing the game is going to be over. We see Salamangreat end up taking the win in Game 3 here with that power of Baguska. If you guys enjoyed watching the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, see more content like this. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.